Good day, folks. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic, feeling groovy, realizing, of course, the government really don't love you, and also realizing that pretty much everything you've been told since the day you were born is a lie. It is September the 24th of 2025, 6:53 a.m. Mr. Buzz coming to you from the heavily demon-infested province known as Ontario, Canada. If you enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up as I ask. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's information in the description on how you do so. I now have a PayPal account, so it's much easier than before. And I normally offer guitar lessons, but I'm fully booked and not able to take any new students at this time. So this is a video for those in isolation who really want out of isolation. I'm going to give you a hint that could save you a lot of grief. And I got some scripture here that will indicate the kind of grief I can save you from here if you pay attention to what I'm saying. So, Deuteronomy 8:2-5. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee to know. I'll read that again. Sorry, I stumbled when I read it the first time there. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee to know. Of course, he's talking about the Israelites who he left wandering around in the desert for 40 years, feeding them manna and, yeah, a big test, a big transformation of their attitudes, basically. So, if you're in isolation, what I'm saying is, I'm going to give you a little hint that could save you from longer isolation. And use that verse as an indication of how much longer it could be. If he did that to the Israelites for 40 years, he might do it to you too. Okay, so don't gamble on this one. I wouldn't want to know how long he'd leave somebody in isolation. He might leave you there a long time if you don't get with the program. So, we're going to look at another piece of scripture here. This is James 1 James 2-4. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Very important part right there. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. So this one really applies to everyone in isolation. There's one thing he's going to do before he releases you. He's going to test your patience. He's going to test to see how quick you are to anger. I know this for sure. He's going to do it. Okay, if you can keep yourself nice and calm, don't get quick to anger, don't let your temper go, that's good. You're going to need to do that because he's going to throw more annoyances at you than you would ever believe. I'm in that phase right now. And I'll be the first to admit, I didn't do so good so far. Overwhelmed with all this stuff, okay? I'm just overwhelmed at the moment with more than I can even describe to you. He just kept throwing it at me and throwing it at me and throwing it at me till there was a mountain of stuff ahead of me. And then he threw more at me. I've got technical issues. I've got attacks coming in from people. I've got telemarketers. I've got issues with PayPal. Trying to deal with people who don't speak English. You name it. If it's an annoyance, I'm experiencing it. My technical issues are a nightmare. A total nightmare. Technology is now so complex, the people that made it don't even know how to work it. And none of it works. Nothing works. every last thing you buy and bring home, there's troubleshooting, let me tell you. There's lots of troubleshooting. Over and over and over and over. I've only had this new equipment a few days. If I had any hair left that wasn't gray, it's gone. It's all gray now. Every bit of it. Thanks to this technology. This is what's going to happen to you, folks, before you are released from isolation. This is what's going to happen to you. Don't be like me and go on autopilot and start complaining. Get on the phone and the person you're trying to deal with doesn't speak very good English at all and you can't understand them. Keep yourself calm. Don't cover over the phone and say, like I did, because the Lord is watching and listening, and He's looking for you to handle it better than that. He wants to know you're a proper representative of Him before He fully unleashes you and says, okay, you're out of isolation now, you're working for me and you're doing your thing. He wants to make sure you represent Him well. And in order to do that, you need to be patient, calm, and not quick to anger. Because most of us are. Let's face it. You know, we get annoyed, we curse, we yell, we complain, we whine. I realize I have nothing to whine about. The Lord's blessing me left, right, and center, treating me like gold, actually, and yet still get this piece of something inside me that when things don't go my way, start complaining, pounding my fist, and so, like George Costanza's father used to say on Seinfeld, I don't watch TV and never did, but that one show, there was something about it I found so funny. When I was at a friend's house, I would watch that with him because just that one just kills me. And his father would always say, "Serenity now, serenity now." I've been using that for real. When I call up PayPal and I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't speak English either. Oh no, oh no. Serenity now. I'm saying it in my mind. Calm down, Jeff. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Right? Don't let anger get the best of you. Think of the Israelites when you feel that anger welling up inside you because you're being tested. And also know you're being tested. That's the most important part of it, is realizing, oh, this is a test. And you're going to have to do it more than once or twice. He's literally thrown, 50 annoyances at me in the last couple days. I mean, it's the most annoying 2 days I've ever had. Literally. One thing after another. No matter what I touch, it breaks, falls apart, or there's some obstacle, it won't work right. I have to do some research to figure out how to use it. And then it doesn't work like it's supposed to anyway. And then in the middle of it, the phone will ring, and it's an annoying telemarketer again. The same one I've told 30 times not to call back. The same exact voice, right? It's like, you again. And I have to not tell you off because I'm being tested. Actually, that's not the only reason. It's because the Lord wants me to be a different kind of person. He doesn't want me to be like that anymore, right? The ways of the world make people that way. The ways of the Lord will make you much different if you pay attention and you care about your studies and care about your tests. You better care about your tests because let me remind you one more time, the Israelites wandered around the desert for 40 years, okay? Don't cause the Lord to leave you in isolation for 40 years, because I have a feeling He will. If you fail the tests consistently over and over, I think 40 years is what you'll get. I do. I mean, like I say, I don't know anybody that's been that long, but one person, 23 years that I met. They're like, I went into isolation, and they said the year. I forget, like 23 years ago. I'm like, I did the math. I'm like, whoa, really? Yeah. And I always knew I was in isolation by the Lord. I just don't know when He's ever released me. I get the feeling maybe He never will. 23 years. I did 10. 10 was long enough. 10 was certainly long enough. 10 almost broke me in half. So what would 23 do? That's over double what I've already done. Oh, no, I don't know if I'd be strong enough to even get through it. So take my advice. Remember the Israelites, and also remember that other scripture I told you about there. 1 James 2-4. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. This is the key. Not being angry about these things. Realize what's going on. The Lord molding you, colleging you, giving you patience. Right? There's a joke people say, I tried to learn patience, but it took too long. Right? Well, the Lord has a way to teach you patience. Might take a little while, but He will teach you to be patient, whether you like it or not. Right? He doesn't fail in his teaching. He does drive it home eventually. But do yourself a favor, walk in gratitude for what's going on. And I'm not saying that I'm the one who does it right. I'm telling you not to make the mistakes I've made. I probably extended my isolation quite a bit by not being obedient. I'm quite sure I did. So I'm hoping I can save you from making that same mistake. And also from failing these tests. He will test you. I guarantee you, He will test you on this one thing. Everybody who represents the Lord needs to learn how to be patient and compassionate and not quick to anger and not cussing. And I can tell you for sure, He's got zero tolerance for swearing. Zero tolerance. Just for those who haven't heard the story, my intro, I used to say a bad word in it. I used to say, Mr. Buzz coming to you from the communist S-hole known as Ontario, Canada. So while I'm down at the money place where I pick up some donations, the MoneyGram ones, here I am talking to him, and I'm like, Lord, do you want me to change that intro? Spun my head around, and on the bulletproof glass that the employees are behind, it said zero tolerance for swearing. So He doesn't like cussing. He doesn't like anger. He likes patience, calm, rational thought. When you're angry, you're not thinking clear. I mean, that's for sure, right? When I was talking to that guy who barely spoke English yesterday, my anger got welled up inside me so bad, I was not rational for a good 5 minutes. All rational thought was gone out the door. This is why he needs you to be calm, cool, and collected, as they say. So, just a piece of advice. You're being tested. You're going to be tested in other ways too. This is the one I'm going through now, so that's why I brought this one up today. You're going to be tested in various ways. Various ways. He'll give you some resources. He'll give you some money and see what you do with it. Are you going to go out and buy personal things you want, or are you going to think about the kingdom and buy things that the kingdom needs, right? I'm pretty good on that one. I bought equipment. I want to buy a guitar, which is for the kingdom as well. I mean, I want it, but it's also for the kingdom. I need to glorify His name with my music. And I'm stocking up on food for the winter because He's been showing me one ant, and I made a video about that yesterday or the day before. If you're seeing one ant, He's telling you to prepare. There's scripture to back it up. Watch my video on the ant, and you'll see what I mean. So, whatever way you're tested, just realize you're being tested, and you're going to be tested often. It's going to be all day. Like, it'll just keep going. You're going to have the most annoying time. It's going to drive you nuts, but don't let it. Stay calm. Stay cool. Don't cuss. Cussing will really fail the test. Zero tolerance for swearing. Remember that. And yeah, I hope you pass your tests, and I hope you get out of isolation, because nobody wants to be stuck in that forever, for sure. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you got anything out of that, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you all in the next one. Remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.